Okay, good morning. We're calling this meeting to order of the Development Committee at 10:31. Can we do roll call, please?
Arroyo, Doherty,
Doherty, yes. Doherty here.
Garcia, Iqbal,
Iqbal present.
Linder, Tepe,
Tepe here.
Leonard,
Leonard here.
Berman, Williams,
Williams here, remote.
Roth.
And Roth is here.
In-person quorum with the use of ex
Okay.
officio.
And then,
Mr. Roth, this is Williams. If I may start the meeting since I'm the chair and before we can conduct any business, I cannot attend in person due to illness. I thought it would be more effective if Mr. Roth ran the meeting. So I need someone in the room to make a motion to appoint Bill Roth as the chairman of today's meeting, and that needs to be seconded and voted on. I cannot vote on it until that, so it has to be done by everybody in the room.
Linder will move to appoint Mr. Roth as chairman pro tem in lieu of Mr. Williams' absence.
Leonard will second.
any discussion? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Williams.
Williams, yes, but Savannah, I think you need to verify with the state's attorney that only people in the room can vote on that because we have not been admitted to participate
That's correct.
remotely yet, so.
Minus Doherty, it still passes with 4.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams, and hopefully you get
Thank
better
you.
soon.
Appreciate it.
And then if we can approve remote attendance for Doherty, Berman, and Williams. Any objections?
No.
No objections. Welcome, Mr. Williams and Mr. Doherty. Okay,
Thank you.
can I get a motion to approve the minutes from August 19th?
Linder here. I would ask for unanimous consent, approve the minutes of August 19th and August 28th, 2025.
Oh, yeah, and also August 20th. Thank you, Mr. Linder. Any objections?
No.
Okay, minutes approved. Public comment. We have several people sign up, but they're regarding petitions. We'll have you speak when we bring up that petition. We do have one person currently for public speaking, Dean Hummel. If you could please come up. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Dean Hummel, Big Rock Township Supervisor. We sent a letter back when that petition came through about Big Rock. I don't know if everybody knows where Big Rock is, but we're a nice little nestled.
Okay. If it's regarding the petition, I would say talk to that. If you have something else to talk about, you can talk now.
Okay, so this petition is a not-for-profit. It's on Jericho Road, right on a curve. We address safety concerns. I'm just curious, did anybody bring that up in the zoning, or are they,
I cannot answer that question, Mr. Van Kerkhoff.
is that more in the planning stage or development stage? I'm not sure how you guys handle that.
Yeah, that's one of the petitions that's on your agenda this morning.
Okay, so we'll cover all that when we get to that petition. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir. That's it then for public comment. Those will cover the rest in the particular petition. That's okay. Monthly financial. Do we have any? Okay,
They're attached.
they're attached. Any questions? Okay, building and zoning division.
Good morning, Mark Van Kerkhoff, Director of Development. This morning, building and zoning, we're just starting to enter into our busier fall season as people see the colder weather and thinking about getting foundation starts and other projects done before winter. So we usually have a uptick. We are fully staffed, which we're grateful for. Also did want to report, the finance director had mentioned the status of our building permit fees at the last executive committee meeting. We estimate right now, we have about $250,000 in pending permit fees. And that's without any additional permit applications that may still be coming in the next several months.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from us? Okay. So the first petition is petition 4665. Petitioner is Riverside Club for Adventure and Imagination. Is the petitioner here? Okay, if you want to come up and say a few words at the mic. Yeah, that's fine. Okay,
Okay, we have a staff slide report for you. This is all in your packet, so I'll go through it somewhat quickly. I will acknowledge that the staff did receive, or the zoning board did receive a letter of request from the Big Rock Township requesting that the zoning board of appeals postpone or continue this petition. We did not receive any other comments from them. We received quite a few comments from the public. You'll probably hear some of those later, as well as the township could certainly, address any concerns that they have on that. This petition was at actually two different zoning board meetings over the course of a couple months. So the zoning board did not move to delay the petition any further per the township's request.
okay. And it's in Mr. Leonard's district.
That's correct. So the applicant is a Riverside Club for Adventure and Imagination. They currently own the property. They are requesting a special use in the F district, loosely for recreational, educational facilities use. In our F district list of special uses, there are many. One of those is category DD, which is for uses similar to others uses otherwise permitted in this district as special uses. So in this case, it doesn't fit into any of the single named categories exactly, but it falls under the similar to a lot of the other uses in terms of educational use, religious retreat, camp. You'll get a flavor based on the presentation, as well as the petitioners here to answer any additional questions. These were presented at the second meeting of the zoning board. We had some additional comments from the Big Rock Fire Department that were addressed by the petitioner, including an emergency action plan, other fire emergency plans, first aid plan. This was a copy of my determination regarding what I just mentioned in terms of this falling under special use DED, and lists the other uses that are similar. This is an aerial, actually a close-up aerial of more of the driveway and the buildings and the different uses. It is a unique parcel that was developed for a large single-family home. It has a pond, lots of different wooded and grassy areas throughout the property. Has a long driveway with a gated entrance and a circular turnaround, which you can see outside of the house. This is where they have their events that they exceed the parking available along the driveway. They've got grassy areas that they'd be proposing to park. This is its location on the 2040 plan. It's an area that's planned for countryside estate residential. Across the street into the south area for agriculture. You can see by the parceling of the properties, there's a lot of smaller single-family uses along Jericho Road in this vicinity. This is its location. For those of you who aren't familiar with Big Rock Township, it is there in our southwest corner. Here it is on the 2040 plan. Here's on the zoning map. You can see that stretch of Jericho Road is mostly F district farming. There are some estate residential zonings on some of the lots and a few F1s in the vicinity. And you can see the village of Big Rock just to the north and east. Here's an aerial, and you can see the land use pattern, especially the farmed areas to the south of Jericho Road and the more wooded smaller lots in the creek on the north side. Here's a close-up of the property showing the entire parcel. You can see the area with the pond. It's surrounded on to the east and west by fields that are used for farming, and then up to the north and west a little bit, not on this parcel, but you see Big Rock Creek. Here's another version of their site plan showing the existing house and the different uses from camping to fishing to play fields, vegetable gardens throughout the site. This is a floor plan prepared by the architect, who I believe may be online. Also, if there's any questions of how the large single family home would be converted in its use to educational or assembly use for the club. And I will note that I have been out there with some of our building inspectors in the fire district. If the zoning were to be approved, they would go through an establishment of use and change of use process with a building permit to address life safety and egress. But overall, the house is very adaptable to those uses. In your packet, there's more information on the Riverside Club. Again, the petitioner's here if there's any detailed questions. Water Resources had some comments regarding this site. They also have a list of stipulations which were recommended by the zoning board. KDOT had some recommendations and a stipulation regarding to ensure that the minimum driveway width is 22 feet for a distance of 110 feet. If there are any questions, KDOT is here as well. Environmental Health has looked at it, has some comments on septic and food preparation. EcoCat report, the NRI report, and zoning board. There's a recommended stipulations from Water Resources. We did have public comment at the two ZBA meetings. Findings of fact by the zoning board are in your packet. And it's for your consideration this morning. The zoning board of appeals did recommend approval with one objecting member.
We need a Mr. Tepe,
Oh,
we need a motion in a second.
I'll move.
Williams seconds.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Tepe.
Yes, I was at the zoning board meeting and I could not quite understand why one of the zoning members felt that this did not fall under special use.
He felt that it did not fall under any of the uses in the special use. He disagreed with the staff opinion and the opinion of the other zoning board members that this could fall under special use DD, that it's similar to other uses that are otherwise permitted in the district. He did not give a reason why, other than he felt it didn't fall into that category.
But you and your staff have no issues with it falling under the special use?
Oh, no, our staff recommendation is that it does fall under that special use DD. The other members of the ZBA all voted to
Yes.
recommend approving this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
Chair
Chairman.
Williams.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, there are two stipulations here pertaining to 100-year floodplain. And I think they are unconstitutional. The county is,
Can we bring up that page? What page is it, Mr. Iqbal?
no, this is on the, in the recommendation,
Mr.
64,
Bancroft's trying to-
64.
Thank you. That way everybody can see it. Okay, so which two are you,
It says the number is, one is number 2.
number 1 and number 2 is?
No, number 2
Number 2,
and number 3 and number 4.
okay.
It says no habitable structure shall be built in 100-year floodplain. Well, it can be built. There are guidelines to build it. And to take this property right away from the petitioner, I think it is unfair, unconstitutional, and we should not ask them to do that.
Gonna- Ms. Wolnick to respond.
The floodplain is very flashy in this area because it's one of our smaller streams. Part of our hazard mitigation plan makes and ensures that we protect the public from flooding damage. The concern here is that there'll be children and campers that you're having a habit in that floodplain area. And in light of the situation in Texas, our recommendation is that not be an option for this petitioner. So we don't have young children at risk in our floodplain area.
So it's because of the special use that kids will be involved. We're being cautious. Okay,
Why couldn't we provide guidelines, but give them an option to build if they want to build, that there are some guidelines, additional guidelines for that. The houses are getting built, there are children living there, and why we are putting this constraint on the petitioner?
can we, Mr. Vancouver, can you bring up the map so we can see where the 100-year floodplain, if we have one that will show that?
Or do you recall if one of the maps had the floodplain on it?
I didn't see any in the slideshow presentation, but it is, it does encompass the pond area.
Did he give a reason? Yeah. Mr. Arroyo has joined online. Is the committee accepting him?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And also Ms. Garcia is now here too. Thank you, Sonia. All right, no luck on that. Just to get an idea, how much land are we talking about out of the whole property was what my thinking was on the map.
Well, there's two things that intersect with that
Okay.
criteria. One is a special use.
Right.
The site plan that's been submitted by the petitioner becomes the zoning and use in terms of
Okay.
level. He's not proposed any structures or habitable structures in the 100-year floodplain. We may need some time to discuss this with the petitioner and staff before the county board meeting, but I would probably also ask if the petitioner had any objection to that. But
did he?
given well, we could ask him this morning when he speaks.
Okay,
But as it is, the zoning that's being approved with those conditions would need a adjustment to the site plan regardless, because there's no structures that are
Are there?
listed on his petition in the 100-year floodplain.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments regarding Mr. Ball's comment?
Yeah, I'd like to know what petitioner feels about it.
Well, when he speaks, we'll find out.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, were there any objections to this? And are any of those people present here today?
Sure, we had some people show up at both meetings, and some of those folks are here today, including Big Rock Township. So I would
Okay.
encourage you to invite people to make
Okay.
comments at this
Do we
time.
want to have a Big Rock Township come up first? Please? Now you're back.
Don't get me wrong, we're not like opposing this.
Can you get closer to the microphone, please?
We're not opposing this. We're just
Okay.
saying we have concerns about the traffic. You can see that's it doesn't really show that curve very well from a picture.
At the bottom left there.
Yeah, so the curve comes in there and it's a high-speed road. Most roads are in Big Rock, but it's a high-speed road.
What is the
People-
current speed limit?
Pardon?
What is the current speed limit?
55.
And is there a reduction on recommended on that curve?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right,
Not-
you'll get a
not yet.
chance. Hang on.
Yeah, yeah. So it's probably not the day-to-day stuff that we're worried about, but they specified in their articles and stuff that they have drawings or big events where they have hundreds of cars.
Coming in.
They were gonna bus them in. You're talking about at night on an unlit road that's super high speed.
Okay.
So
Have we had any feedback from KDOT? Is this a county road or a township road?
county, it's a county road.
Did we get any comment from KDOT?
Doris is here with KDOT,
Oh,
but they
okay.
had a
Thank you.
recommended stipulation for the access point and widening of the driveway to accommodate or help prevent
Right.
cars from stacking
Okay.
up into the roadway.
Okay,
So what the picture doesn't show is that this property actually drops from the road. It goes down. So when you're coming out of that driveway, you're actually coming up a little incline and trying to look both ways. So it's not a good situation.
okay. Doris, I don't know if you have any feedback?
Yes, Doris Hohertz from KDOT Permitting. So Jericho Road is a county road. It is 55 miles per hour. When we look at our manuals for access, this is an existing access. We look at 5 miles over, so it's a 60 mile per hour design speed. That minimum stopping site distance is 570 feet. That is there towards the east, a little bit shy to the west. However, there are 45 mile per hour advisory speed limits reduction because of the curve. So
Okay.
cars are slowing down or should be slowing down. Based on the information that we have received, there were 1 or 2 larger events that were going to take place at this parcel.
Okay. All right,
So the recommendation from us would be that if they have big events like that, they have police presence. We don't have. a
I'm
police-
sorry, they'll have what?
They have police presence.
Okay,
On that road because, if something.
for safety.
For safety
Okay.
purposes, yeah. But
Okay,
one of the other things that Big Rock is kind of a unique community. We haven't grown in 50 years. We really haven't. It's a farming community and we like it that way. But what's happening is we have a huge amount of forest reserve property. More not-for-profits are coming in. Our taxes keep going up and up and up, and we're paying for all this.
Right.
So, hey, great, if the county wants to put it out there, we love it. But you know what? Somebody else got to help pay for it
okay.
because we can't. It's driving our residents' taxes out the roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to resolve
I
that
know.
today. Let's take that offline with KDOT and.
Yep.
Okay,
So that's our big concern.
okay. Is that it then? Anything else?
Nope.
Okay,
Thanks.
okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else regarding this petition want to speak? And then we'll have the petitioner speak last per his request. Yes, come on up to the front, please. Good morning. You have to get the mic right by your,
Yeah.
there you go.
How's that?
And you
Okay.
can give your name and where you live.
Yes, yes. Thank you. My name is Kate Doyle. I am a longtime Riverside mom. My husband spoke on my behalf at the last meeting. We have hosted many events at our own home. Never, ever had any issue. We live in a very basic residential neighborhood. But today, so I am not redundant, I am here to read a statement written by my son, Seamus, who is 19 years old. He was among the original classes of Riverside from the beginning, just to give the committee and anyone here a sense of the young men that this program produces. so he has the following to share. I was fortunate enough to have been enrolled in Riverside at age 9, and I continued through the tutorial program as an apprentice until I was 14. Though I became a journeyman 5 years ago now, I volunteered at the summer camps the year following my graduation and have returned as a fully employed counselor every summer since, so that I can vouch for the fact that Riverside has remained or has maintained the standards and kept their mission true through all 10 years that I have been a part of it. As for how Riverside impacted me, tutorial taught me how to balance myself as a man and hone my skills in the arts of poetry and the arts, as well as traversing the wilderness and embracing the hardworking spirit of a man. Theater taught me composure in public speaking and self-expression. Mr. Serby and the other tutors never failed to allow us creative freedom in most things, but also taught us discipline and how to carry oneself around others. My experience is not an individual or unique one, but rather one shared by each boy who has been a part of Riverside and its mission. I can assure you that the boys who will be making use of the land are no animals who will be invading your property, but rather are en route to become the model men of their generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Doyle. Okay. Anybody else want to speak regarding this petition? Okay, if the petitioner wants to come up and say a few words, please. Okay,
My name is Peter Serby.
all right, get a little closer.
Is that it? Is that good?
Yeah.
I should know that directing theater after all these years. So I wanted to address a couple of the comments. I
Okay.
founded it 11 years ago, Riverside. I've been a teacher for over 24 years. And I just noticed there was something missing in education, especially for boys. And I wanted to give them an experience of brotherhood, friendship in the midst of the creative arts, outdoor adventure, and craftsmanship, to learn how to build with their hands, to work on creative storytelling together, and to help them venture out into the outdoors and learn how to take care of themselves and survive in nature and understand how to identify it. And so the country has been a dream of mine since I started it. I've been praying and hoping for a property that would suit our mission. And never before, and I've seen a lot of properties. I've went over 30 in Kane County and other counties trying to find the right one. I was always in touch with the county about the prospect of that property, whether it would be good for us, trying to get their feedback. Keith Burkout was somebody I was always in touch with. We even made several bids on properties that we lost when the property market went up. And this one was an answer to a prayer, not only because we love Big Rock. I've been to the Plowman match, the board of the Plowman match. One of the board members was at the ZBA meeting and recommended us for Big Rock in Kane County. Same with the Big Rock librarian, Mary Hoggy. We also had Natasha, who runs Esther's Place in Big Rock, write a letter into the zoning board recommending how good we would be, because we've already had interactions both with the Plowman Festival. I was at the rodeo recently. We want to be very much a part of Big Rock. I would say that I understand the reason why we like Big Rock is that it doesn't want to develop and become kind of a crowded suburban neighborhood. We actually like the country. We like the fact that we basically have no neighbors for most of the fields around us, except Ingrid O'Brien, who's across the street. Ingrid came over to my house, that house, the other day. We sat down and had a marvelous conversation. She's not here today, I think because the conversation went so well about how we would make sure that our boys would not trespass on her property, that we have signs up, and that we have a procedure on how there'll be penalties, for instance, if a boy were to do that. In terms of the floodplain, we did say in our petition, we took out any building in the floodplain. We always said is that we'd like to camp there, but it's tent camping. So, I mean, if it starts raining, obviously we go to high ground. We won't even be near the pond. I've seen that area before and I know how that river works. I've kayaked that little creek. So I know how the flood works. I've also talked to Ingrid O'Brien about how it floods. There's a gully along the west side that floods, but there are tubes. Though whoever built this was brilliant. First of all, it acts almost as a retaining pond because the whole property is high ground to low ground to the pond. But then it has PVC tubes that make sure that it stays level and that it goes out to, just goes out. So you don't have a flood on the pond. It naturally leaves. So we don't, right now, we have no intent to build. But I mean, I do understand the gentleman's point that down the road, it would be, it would behoove us to use our whole property in the way that would help these boys inhabit it. In terms of traffic, it's 40 miles per hour at the turn. I see it every day. I take a right out. Everybody slows down because it is sharp. And I would advocate for any other KDOT ideas on how to, slow down people more. I know that Jerry Rich down the road at Rich Harvest Farms has a blinking sign that slows you down to 40 miles per hour. That definitely makes you want to slow down when you see that. It shows you your miles per hour. So there are ways to handle that. We do only have one big event per year. We've had it at multiple locations over 10 years. And if you check the letters written in, most of the people that we've rented from are advocating for us and say we do events very well. At our last one at the Byzantine Church in Homer Glen, that's where we'll have our big event this year. We did have the police there. And you can check out the letter, the testimony of the priest who came to the last ZBA, and he said it was brilliant the way they handled their event. Everything was orderly. Since we've done it so many years, we understand how to run things with traffic and parking. So yeah, those are the main things. I would say just in general, we're a supplemental enrichment program, mainly for boys, but we have some co-ed programs. And we leave a very small imprint. I mean, most of what we do is involving about 27 kids on a 14-acre property that's surrounded by trees. There's no noise that escapes. It's perfect for us.
Okay.
So those are the main things. Do you have questions for me?
Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the petitioner?
No, petitioner is very clear. They don't have intent to build anything right now, but looking at the use that would have in future, I think those three stipulations are onerous and we should take them out.
Okay. Any other comments, Mr. Tepe?
Yes, I'd like to ask the petitioner, there were a lot of qualifications associated with the fire department. Do you have any problems with any of those stipulations?
No, I've met with Chuck Kuhn, the fire chief in Big Rock, 4 times. He came over to the property and he basically gave us all the advice we need in terms of having fire detectors, extinguishers, an escape plan, an emergency route plan. And we've already gone over all of that with, our staff and how we're going to handle those situations. And so he was very clear. It wasn't onerous to us. Everybody that's looked at our house and property, from tradesmen, our architect, the planning team of Kane County with Mark, the fire chief, they were all very impressed with the house as adapted to our use. And we are willing to do anything we need to do to adapt it to educational use and to be safe.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Williams.
Yes, Mr. Williams.
For the petitioner, is this primarily a summer operation or will you do weekends throughout the year?
We don't usually do weekends. It's during the week. So it's September through May. We have programming from 9 to 3 and it's mainly for homeschoolers during the school year because that's when these boys actually can come. And a lot of homeschool families are looking for outlets for their boys. So we're a marvelous, there's a lot of homeschoolers in this area too, in Kane County, DeKalb. And so we're a great service to many families. But during the summer, we also have programs and that's open to school children as well as homeschool children. But in general, yes, we're using the property throughout the year, except I would say August, we take the whole month off And summer, it's limited. We have limited programs, so there's several weeks off between June and July. And then in general, like I said, it's a small number of kids. You're not talking about a school in any way. We're not, you're not talking about 100 kids on the property or things like that. So it's a small imprint. But yes, we do use it during the school year to answer your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? I have one follow-up.
Sure.
You said you were okay with the stipulations regarding the floodplain at this point, correct?
I mean, if we need to build something there, I assume we'd have to go through building permits anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come
So-
back for building permits.
So I think
anyway.
we'd have to address that at that
But
time.
But looking at the map, what is part of the 100-year floodplain?
It's just.
It
yeah, go
comes
ahead.
along the pond. There's nothing in the north.
On the west
So
side of the pond
The entire pond is in the floodplain,
is in
as well
floodplain.
as everything to the west of it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair
And,
Williams,
Yes, Mr. Williams.
could Ms. Walnick describe how the conservation easement works or the proposed easement works?
The conservation easement is a requirement of our stormwater ordinance. And so that is not something that is flexible. So item 2 and 3 are part of our stormwater ordinance. Those stipulations have been reviewed with IDNR, the state, as well as the state model ordinance. I believe it's stipulation number 4 that goes into an area that's not a requirement of the stormwater ordinance in the habitable structure suggestion there. So the conservation easement basically requires that area be left for open space for the floodplain and only permissible allowable uses that are under our stormwater ordinance.
Okay, thank you.
So we really don't, what you're telling me is because it's in our ordinance, we don't have any flexibility to not impose it in this situation?
Item 2 and 3, stipulation 2 and 3 are in our stormwater ordinance. It's stipulation 4 that would not allow for habitable structures. That is not in our ordinance and is our recommendation based on the flashiness of the creek in that area, as well as the concerns with having the campers potentially there during a flood event.
So, I certainly understand and appreciate Dr. Iqbal's concerns. What I would suggest, Dr. Iqbal, is maybe you and I could meet with the state's attorney's office on your concerns, because this concern is more than just this petition. This concern would relate to our entire ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams. Any other comments? Okay, let's call the roll.
Arroyo,
Yes.
Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, no.
no, thank you. Iqbal,
Iqbal, no.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, no.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes.
Passes with 3 noes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, the next petition is petition number 4667. Petitioner is Michael Bonianek. Can we get a motion in a second?
Tepe will move.
Garcia, second.
Williams seconds.
Okay, Garcia, second. And who was motion? Tepe? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Great. Mark
Okay.
Van Kirkhoff again with the staff support. And then just especially for members of the public who are here this morning, for all 3 of these petitions, the development committee, the vote is a recommendation and the zoning petitions go on to the full county board meeting in October. With that, the next petition is zoning petition 4667. It's also in Mr. Leonard's district.
Your
This is for rezoning from F farming district to F1 district rural residential to create new residential parcels on the northwestern portion of the property. This is located on the far west portion of Kane County, right along the county line. It's in the area planned for agriculture. also in the area plan for agriculture, the 2040 plan. This is its location on the 2040 land use map, again in agriculture, with the two areas proposed for F1s shown in yellow. Here it is on the zoning map, also predominantly F district farming. Here is an aerial. This is a little bit unusual parcel from the rest of the area surrounding it, which is predominantly wide open farm fields. This particular parcel, here it is again on the aerial. Here's a close-up of the parcel. There is one existing home already. There's a wooded area in the northeast corner, and then several smaller grassy or pasture areas, which are separated by existing tree lines. The owner is looking to do a F1 rezoning for the existing house, and then also a new building site, F1 zoning on the northwest corner for a family member in the area that's partially wooded and a little bit of the westernmost field. Here's some photos of the property from the natural resource inventory. Water Resources had a couple of comments and stipulations regarding the elevation of the basement floor, as well as their usual comment about impervious area in the stormwater ordinance. Transportation, petitioner would need to obtain temporary and final access permits from Big Rock Township. Health Department condition in terms of being supported with well and septic. Forest Preserve District had no comments. You have other reports that are in the packet. This is the NRI report in terms of prime farmland. You can see the mapped areas, but you can see with the area also the areas that are existing tree lines. Recommended stipulations from Water Resources and from KDOT. We did have a zoning board hearing on this. There was one objector, an area property owner. The ZBA has the standards for the F1 rezoning that they follow. And the zoning board recommended approval of this petition. And it's here for before your consideration this morning.
Is the petitioner here? Okay, is there anyone else anyone else wants to speak before? Yes, Mr. Deppie.
Can we go to page 86? Don't understand. There appears to be a structure just outside the line on, let's say the north side.
Just north of the one
Just north of the,
yellow line.
yeah. Yeah, right there. What is that? I guess that stays with the farm or?
The petitioner is here, so they may be able to answer that question. Doesn't appear to be a structure, but
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get to the microphone and say your name, please.
Deanna Bohannick.
Thank you.
Do you want me to address to or no?
Hmm?
Address to or no?
No, we got the
Okay,
address.
perfect. Behind the house is a pool, so that might be where the deck was at. But other than that, it's all open from the back of the house to that first set of trees. On the right side, there is a two-car garage, heated garage. But other than that, there's nothing behind that yellow line.
I don't understand why the pool is not included with the house.
The pool is no longer there. We took the pool down.
Oh,
So this is an older picture is what you're saying?
We just took the pool down like 3 weeks ago.
okay.
Yes,
Are you looking for a pool, Mr. Tepe? No.
good.
One a little bit more conveniently located to me personally.
Okay, thank you. Any other,
Mr.
would
Chair
you like to make
Williams.
any other comments or?
No, I really don't think so. It's really just the one house. My one son's gonna live there by us. That's
Okay.
really what I want to do. Everything else will stay farmland. I think there's hay fields, alfalfa. We have a farmer farming that for us.
Okay.
Other than that, we want to keep as much farm as possible, grow trees, garden. We got 1,000 pumpkins this year, so we're really happy
Okay.
with
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience
Mr. Chair,
regarding this
Williams.
petition?
Williams.
Mr. Williams, go ahead.
I'd like to know what the basis for the objection was from the one objector.
You want me to answer that? The objector was they didn't want us to change the area the way it looked when they drove around on the farmland. They like the way the area looks. They like to keep the farm. They like to keep the nature. That was her objection. She wanted to make sure there was only one house, not a community. Because when we first moved, it does say compound down there, but we are only doing one house on top of our house, two
Right.
houses total.
Okay.
And,
That was-
and when do you propose to build the second home?
As soon as possible.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay, anything else, Mr. Williams?
no, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other comments, Mr. Leonard?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is in my district and I support it.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, let's call roll, please.
Arroyo. Mr. Arroyo,
Hello, can you hear me now? Arroyo, yes.
Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes. Okay. Okay, the next petition is petition number 4666. Petitioner is SVCSG Wilson School Solar LLC. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
Sonia will move.
Williams seconds.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams. Okay. Who's presenting this one?
I am.
Natalie, thank you.
Chairman. This is zoning petition number 4666 for SVCSG Wilson School Solar. The applicant is SVCSG Wilson School Solar. They are requesting a special use permit in the F Farming Zoning District to allow for the development of a commercial solar energy facility. The property is located on the south side of Highland Avenue, approximately 0.7 miles west of Randall Road in Elgin Township. And this is in County Board District 22, Burnt Tepe. Here we have our location map. You can see the approximate location of the subject property south of Highland Avenue. We're in Plato Township. I'm sorry. Elgin Township. That's a mistake. We are west of Randall Road. We have some farmland surrounding the property, a few residential subdivisions, and we are very close to the city of Elgin. Here again is an aerial map where you can see the surrounding area, farmland, residential, a pretty good mix of both. Here's a close-up of that aerial. You can see the subject property. The solar facility, as you'll see on the site plan, does not take up the entire property as outlined here, but these are the parcels that it does touch. Here's our zoning map where you can see this is in the F Farming District. All of the white area surrounding it is additional farmland. The hashed area in red is the city of Elgin. And then, as you can see, we have, again, a couple of subdivisions nearby, the E3, some PUD district, residential. This is in our critical growth area. You can see the location map again on the right. The subject property is designated in our future land use plan as resource management. The resource management area is a highly contextual land use area. It encourages plans to take into consideration the surrounding areas as well as nearby municipalities and their future plans. The site of the proposed solar array would fall within the city of Elgin's planning jurisdiction, which classifies this area as single-family detached in their future land use plan. The city of Elgin did object to the solar project. Their letter was uploaded to the Kane County website, and I do believe they have a representative here to speak on behalf of the project later. Here's our proposed site plan. As you can see, it doesn't take up the entire outlined parcels, but it does take up a large portion of it. You can see the green sort of line on the right-hand side to the east. That's their proposed vegetative buffer. This slide outlines the required setbacks. Project does meet all of King County's minimum requirements for setbacks. In most cases, it exceeds the required setback from the panels to neighboring residential structures. The table on the left-hand side of this slide shows the adjacent residential homes and the distance, again, from the structure, residential structure to the panel, to the fence line.
I have a question. So
Yes,
the,
sir.
so the requirement is 150 and this is listing, so no one's close to 150 is the way I'm reading that. Am I correct in that?
I'm sorry, repeat the last part?
All right, the requirement is at least 150 feet. Is that correct? Okay.
Yep.
And then on your table on the left, you're showing for each lot what the setback is.
Yes.
So no one's close to 150 at all.
Yeah, it looks like the closest
Is
is
17.
236.
Yeah, lot 17, 236.
Yeah.
And again, that's the distance from the residential structure, in this case, to the fence line. Technically, the code is from residential structure to panels, which would be in some cases even further away.
Okay, thank you.
But yes, you are correct. Here's just a close-up of those residential structures. Again, the vegetative landscape screening, this just summarizes what our code says, that vegetative screening is required where visible to nearby residences. This is a detail of the plan that they've submitted, which shows the approximate distance between trees and a 4-foot minimum planting height. Here's their fence detail. This is consistent with the other agricultural knot fences. Our standard stipulations recommended by our water resources team. KDOT did review this petition. Highland Avenue is under the jurisdiction of the city of Elgin, so they would, the petitioner would be required to meet all of the city of Elgin's requirements for access permits. No comments from the health department. This is in the Pingree Grove and Countryside Fire Protection District. They did review the project and don't have any significant comments. They will also review the project when it goes through permitting for more specific building code requirements. As always, we received our EcoCat report. Their letter did recommend the standard recommendations for the solar projects. A lot of these are covered in our water resources stipulations. Nothing from SHPO. Our NRI report was submitted as well. This indicated that there is prime farmland on the tract of land, an LE score of 27 and an SA score of 27 with a total score of 54, placing this property in the low protection category for future development. The Section 7 consultation from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service did come back. There's a very detailed report that was provided by the petitioner and was submitted on the website. In short, their consultant found that the project will largely have no effect on most species, with tailored mitigation like avoiding key nesting or breeding seasons where slight risks remain. No info from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. There were no state dedicated nature preserves identified in the vicinity of the solar farm, and we did receive the required AMA agreement. Here again are those stipulations. There's no stipulation for the transportation because this is in City of Elgin's jurisdiction and they did not provide a suggested stipulation. We did receive a number of public comments. Again, all of those have been available on the website for your review. I also included 3 letters that I received this morning. And that on the left-hand side is just a snip of the objection from the City of Elgin. Our standards of a special use. The ZBA considered the zoning petition at their public hearing on September 2nd and then finished their discussion on September 9th. They did hear testimony in opposition to the project from area neighbors, and the City of Elgin was not present at the meeting, but we did reference their letter. And then testimony in favor of the project from the petitioner. They established their findings of fact, which were included in your packets today, and voted to adopt them. And then ultimately voted to recommend approval of zoning petition for 666 with the recommended staff stipulations. And then these are the next steps for the project. I'm available for any questions, and I do believe the petitioner team is here as well as potentially some area objectors.
Before we do that, Mr. Tepe, this is in your district. Are you in favor of this petition or not?
No, I'm not. May I have a few moments?
Yes, you may.
Would you bring up page 101? First off, this is immediately adjacent to an existing residential area. And in specifics, I've been very consistent. To me, any solar farm that is immediately adjacent to a residential area is just not the way to go. In addition, if you look at that page there and you see the red F there, and immediately to the right, you see E-3 area, which is the subdivision. Just a few weeks ago, we rejected another solar farm that would have been directly south, right? Oh, thank you. Very good job. Right there. Okay. So these people, would have been surrounded by solar farms. This is directly within the planning areas of Elgin. Okay. So Elgin is responsible for Highland Avenue, and there are residences north and south of this area that are all within the City of Elgin. And immediately west, just past Coons Road, there's a subdivision that is within the city limits of Elgin. So this area is completely surrounded by the City of Elgin. I've gotten much more involved in this particular one than I would have liked. I totally understand the residents and I agree with it. I will be voting no on this. But I also want to compliment the petitioner. There are a couple of things that to me need to be considered in any kind of solar project. Part of the problem when you have any kind of a farming area is that it has tile, okay? And over the past hundreds of years, lots of tile has been put in to redirect the water and allow them to do it. And the challenge is that when you have a solar project like this, they're required to fix the tile within that area. But what do you do about, the tile that goes off? And so of the F area immediately to the right and directly on there is tile that this would connect into of the neighbors. And I think it's quite commendable of the petitioner that if their project wins, they will replace that tile that goes into a pretty marshy area. Whether you consider it a wetland or not, it's still a pretty marshy area that falls into people's backyards. But again, I'm against this project because it is immediately next to an existing long-term subdivision. Thank you, Mr.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tepe. Any other comment from any committee? Yes, Mr. Gripe.
Not on the committee, but my concern with any solar field we do is the plantings that are going around it. And this particular one has two things, arborvitae, which is in this case.
What page is that on?
130.
130. If we can bring that up, Blair. Thank you.
So there's two plants being proposed here. I won't give you the Latin, but it's an arborvitae, which is, it's about 4 feet tall. That's what's being specified. That means that's what they're going to plant. That plant likes moist soil, and I think this will be moistish. But even with that, they're being spaced enough that they're really not going to provide much shielding from what. So even to Mr. Teppe's point, if this was much farther away, it still wouldn't be shielded very well. The other one is an arrowhead viburnum, and we have those in our yard, and they provide like zero. So I would just like to see us, when we do these kinds of things, to maybe pick better plants that'll grow faster or shield more. But in this case, it would make the point Mr. Teppe's making, that it's going to be really visible and for a long time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gribe. Any comments from any other committee? Okay. Were there any objectors?
Mr.
to
Chair,
this
Mr.
petition?
Chair Williams.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. Go ahead.
You know, we struggle with these comments, and they're great comments. They're appropriate comments, but we struggle with them with these solar facilities. And I would just remind the committee that the state statute is fairly clear that we have limited abilities to not approve these. And if we are going to not approve these, we need to have findings on the record for various reasons, which I think we all know, and I don't need to get into at this point. But I think if there's going to be a no vote, I think we need to reference the LaSalle factors and say how we disagree with the findings.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Okay, any comment from anybody else on the committee? Or, okay, are there any objectors here? The city of Elgin is here. If they want to come up, please. First. Please state your name into the mic.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chairman, County Board members. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Mark Milata. I'm the Director of Community Development for the City of Elgin. Not sure if this is a transcript being prepared. It's MARCMYLOTT. Again, thank you for allowing me to speak. The City of Elgin did provide to you our written objections. I just wanted to offer some of the highlights of those if it would not take too much time. If we would, Nassine, if we could go back to the area map, the City of Elgin is within 150 feet catty corner to the subject property. And as County Board Member Tepe pointed out, the City of Elgin is generally surrounding approximately 600 acres of property, as the city is identified as a single-family detached area in its comprehensive plan. Thank you. So this is the City of Elgin right here, catty corner, less than 150 feet. We have Trinity Chase down here, which crosses the street, is stubbed to allow for future development, as well as was pointed out, Highland Woods is off the map to the left on the west side of Coombs. Not only has the City of Elgin identified this as an area that is more suitable for single-family homes, but it's also been identified in the Kane County 2040 conceptual land use plan located in a critical growth area. And I pointed that out in our written comments. And I would also offer that as it relates to the standards for special use for county's consideration, one of those standards is that the establishment of the special use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding properties. And I would offer, considering what the conceptual land use plan has identified for this property, that the F farming zoning is an outdated zoning district. When you look at the surrounding zoning that the City of Elgin has provided, we're talking about 10,000 square foot lots in single family zoning. We certainly, in the City of Elgin, we have adopted a sustainability plan. We certainly appreciate what solar facilities do for environmental concerns. but that can't be environmental at all costs. And we provided an article that was recently provided in the Chicago Tribune that estimates that that the state is already short over 140,000 housing units. We're all also closely watching what happens in Washington, D.C. as the federal government debates the budget, what happens in terms of housing affordability with potential cuts to the Community Development Block Grant Fund, as well as the Home Commission. And I also will thank you for the invitation. The city of Elgin was invited by CMAP and King County to participate in the Readiness for Housing Development program. So I'll be joining you in the 1st of October. And the purpose of that is to remove barriers to housing development and help communities meet housing needs for their future. I would just conclude by saying that as we're looking at the affordability of housing, any opportunity where you remove this much land from the inventory does not help that age-old supply and demand equation. We are looking at everything that we can do to ensure that housing remains affordable. In the far west area, a house in the Bowes Creek subdivision, I'll use this can be validated through a real estate listing, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in the Bowes Creek subdivision, 2,400 square feet on a 10,000 square foot lot, was recently listed for $669, and it went under contract in less than 2 weeks. Now, that was the listing, to be fair, and I don't know what the ultimate agreed upon price was, but I can venture a safe guess that if it was under contract in 2 weeks, it was pretty close to that. So again, thank you for your time.
Okay.
I greatly appreciate it. If you
Okay.
have any questions, I'd be
Yeah,
happy.
why don't you stay there in case anyone on the committee has any questions? Mr. Iqbal?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I have a question for Mark. Well, if the single-family home situation is the best use of the property, why would a petitioner go for solar?
I suspect that it's the offer made by the developer. Now, I have no knowledge of that, but I would suspect it's an easier way to lease or sell the property than pursuing long-term development. But I had the opportunity to meet with the petitioner. They were very gracious. And I have several developers that would love to develop this and the surrounding land. I'd be happy to get them in touch with those persons.
Mr. Iqbal, you
Thank
can
you.
ask that of the petitioner too.
So are you saying the petitioner is not cooperating with the city?
No, sir, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay,
Mr. Iqbal, you can ask the petitioner why.
okay.
That was your question. Okay. Any other questions from the committee? Okay. Any other objectors out in the audience? Raise your hand. Come on up, please, one at a time. State your name into the microphone, please.
Good morning. My name is Vincent Argento.
You have to be closer to the microphone, please.
My name is Vincent Argento. How's that?
Okay, thank you, Vincent.
I'm going to do my best to try to explain why an industrial solar farm does not belong adjacent to a residential neighborhood. Mr. Williams brought up the LaSalle factors in the statute. I know some other board members are probably interested in that as well. You have to make your specific findings on what is presented in front of you. You just heard the city of Elgin give you one of the LaSalle factors, and that is what's happening in the future. Where is this going? How is it going to impact the area and the community? I'm going to talk about the property values. And the petitioner in this case submitted an expert report claiming that there'll be no impact on property values. I submitted reports, including one from one of their own sources, showing the opposite. And as you can imagine, in the legal field, we can get an expert to say just about anything. But I think I have something else on our side that will justify the denial of the request, and that is common sense and logic. Common sense tells you that when an industrial solar facility is placed directly adjacent to a residential neighborhood, it's going to have an impact on that neighborhood. It's no different than if petitioner was seeking a wind farm, a truck depot, or a landfill. It's going to have an impact. Nobody here can seriously argue that it will not harm the character or the quality of life, and yes, the property values of the neighborhood. A solar farm of this size, this close to homes, carries that same impact. So yes, property values matter, but that's not the only thing that matters. As you heard the city tell you, the plan has to fit the character of the surrounding neighborhoods, has to be consistent with the comprehensive plan, and it has to promote the orderly growth and development rather than undermining it. So at the Zoning Board of Appeals hearing, the SunVest representative testified that this shouldn't impact Elgin at all because there's plenty of land. I've got the testimony from Mr. French. There's plenty of room for Elgin to grow elsewhere. To allow this to go forward, however, would be to disregard Elgin's own carefully laid out intentions. If we do that, it's going to set a dangerous precedent, one that undermines the comprehensive planning, destabilizes property values, and invites a patchwork of incompatible land uses across Kane County. At the end of the day, the petitioner's petition boils down to this. Yes, we conflict with Elgin's plan, but it doesn't matter because Elgin has other land. That argument pretty much turns planning on its head, doesn't it? The law does not ask whether Elgin has land elsewhere. It asks whether this plan, this project is compatible right here, right where they're trying to put it. It is not. I would say if land exists elsewhere, why doesn't the petitioner put their solar farm elsewhere? Folks, over 60 homeowners in our subdivision have formally objected to this petition. You heard our representative, Vern Tepe, tell you simply, this project does not belong here. To me, that speaks volumes. For those reasons, folks, I'd ask that you be guided by your own common sense. Yes, use the LaSalle factors, as Mr. Williams pointed out. Impacts property values. It's going to impede future growth. I'd ask that you deny this petition. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Argento. Next one on the list is Bruce Wright. Is he here? Okay, that's fine. Next is Sharon Wright. Okay.
Bruce Wright, can you bring that up?
Okay. Sharon, can you pull the microphone down?
Sure.
Okay. Say your name for the record, please.
Sharon Wright, and I live at 12 North 268 Jackson Drive. If you're looking at that map right there, I just asked Natalie if she could bring up some pictures, but before you do, Natalie, my husband and I live on the corner house. So we are the ones that are sandwiched in between two solar facilities. We're directly affected both ways. And you shot down, the King County Board shot down the other petition for TNT Howard. And you should do the same because it holds true for this petition also. It is too close to the residential area. It's also a moral decision too. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, you know, and it's, and the harm here is, here, I wrote things down. Well, we have flooding already in the area. I brought this up many times before. God forbid a tornado come through. I mean, 250 feet away from your home, we'd all be dead. Not only that, what do you call it? Kane County had, was it 4 tornadoes? Yeah, 4 tornadoes and 1 microburst last year alone. what was the other thing I wanted to say? Well, my neighbor told you about there's over 60 of us that oppose this solar field. Nelly, can you bring those pictures up or any pictures of Bruce or my letter?
Unfortunately, they weren't part of the presentation because I received them today, but everyone on the development committee received a copy of your letter, and there are copies on the table there if anyone didn't
Okay,
receive it.
well, we sent in, my husband and I, we sent in pictures of Eddie Butt's solar facility. And if you get a chance to look at those pictures and you could see the landscaping on those pictures, I mean, it's the grass is all dead. I mean, a match and it would go up to flames, and you're 250, and you're gonna allow them to manage this facility. God forbid, fire, there is no screening on the outside whatsoever. And even if this did go through and there was screening that they put on, if this is the way they maintain their solar facilities, that's even scarier because we don't know what's going on in there, They're high, be like all blocked from, if that's the case, and we won't be able to see the ground, but it's all dead. It's all dead in there, and it's sparse and it's running. That place is running right now. This special use is incompatible with our residential area with a negative impact on our property values and our neighborhood character. All the homes in the subdivision take great care of our homes and manicured lawns. We love the closeness to the city, but love the country in our backyard. This will change for all of us in West Highland Acres if the solar facility is built. This is the reason we purchased this home. This is the wrong location for a commercial solar facility surrounded by residential homes and also nursing homes and schools. My husband and I will be surrounded by the 2 solar facilities. You already know this because Timothy Myers had scheduled an appeal, so he wants to come back and do this again. This is all about money. And this is our home. And we love Elgin. And we love Kane County. So please, I wanted to tell you about the landscape. And nothing in his plan says when he's going to take care of the plants, when he's going to cut the grass. Nothing in his plan. Oh, thank you, Natalie. Thank you. This is Eddie Butt's place. And I just went there yesterday. So these are now pictures. And I know that can help you with your landscaping thing that you're going to be talking about today. That could help you out. But anyway, you could see it's not being taken care of. So please protect us. You're our advocate. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have one more on the list. Dolores Argento, please.
I'm Dolores Argento.
Thank you.
I live in the subdivision that we're talking about. There's a reason the Kane County 2040 Development Plan has designated this space as a critical growth area. We're 5 to 10 minutes from everything a family needs to support their daily lives. Metra, the tollway, we have 2 hospitals and specialty medical care, shopping, churches, etc. Building a solar farm that will tie up this prime real estate for 35 years would not be a good choice. It would also significantly affect the aesthetics of at least 3 surrounding neighborhoods. But I would like to ask the petitioner a question, and I know we touched on this slightly already, but I'd like to know why he filed a revised site plan. The inverters and the transformers were moved to the center of the solar field, which also ironically happens to be the exact spot that the engineering report stated would be the least likely to flood. Flooding is most certainly on the radar. West Highland Acres has had chronic flooding issues since the day it was built. Those issues were exacerbated because the entire farm drain tile system currently drains into our backyards. This causes flooding in marsh-like areas that preclude mowing. I've spent several hours meeting with the water department on this issue to discuss this very serious concern. West Highland Acres is an old neighborhood
without a homeowners association to rectify these flooding issues. Allowing new drain tile to be connected to the old system would make the problem exponentially worse. Therefore, any water problems created would be a heavy financial burden for the individual homeowner. Current homeowners might be unable to obtain homeowners insurance at any price, nor would their homes be marketable. Zoning Standard B states that the project cannot be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity. Clearly, the objectors have shown that grave injury would occur from this project, as well as a significant reduction in property value. Please reject this petition.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else out in the audience? And if we could have the petitioner come up, please.
Almost good afternoon.
Almost.
Almost. Yes.
I'll hold you to that. Keep it good morning. No.
I'm Bill
can you-
French.
Can you get a little bit closer to the
Just a
mic?
little-
Thank you.
How about that? Much better?
That's a lot better, yes.
So I'm Bill French, the Regional Director of Project Development for Sunvest Solar. Also with me today is Mr. Charles Burnage. He is the property owner who's currently there and intends to stay there, and he's been living there for 59 years.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
in case there are any comments for him. I'll try to move briefly through this as best as I can. Sunvest was established in 2009. We've been active in Illinois since 2017. We're an Illinois-based company, so we have our headquarters in Chicago. We've had an office here in Geneva since 2017. As mentioned, we have built projects here in King County. As was mentioned, was the property on Muirhead Road. That was permitted and approved by King County. We also developed another project just outside in Lily Lake, but it was with within the jurisdiction of Lily Lake. What separates us from some other companies is that we're a full beginning to end company. In other words, not only do we lease property, we'll permit, develop, construct, own, and operate. So we're not going to be turning this project over to another company without that you wouldn't maybe be familiar with. Most importantly, our submittal that we made to the county meets and or exceeds all the requirements of your solar ordinance and requirements of Kane County. Your ordinance does not prohibit solar projects from being built adjacent to residential. So I think that's important to note here is there might be objections to that, but your ordinance does not prohibit that. As long as we follow your ordinance, provide the necessary screening, setbacks, and all other requirements, it should be a permitted use for you. I'd like to just go over some of the findings of fact, just for the record for you. We did provide evidence showing that solar projects will not be unreasonably detrimental to or endanger public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the area. That evidence was submitting showing that solar is safe. The panels we propose are safe. They will not emit any toxic materials or emissions. So check that one. Evidence was submitting showing that solar projects will not negatively affect nor substantially diminish and impair property values of nearby homes. So we submitted actually two reports to you. One was a general report and the other was site specific. And these were prepared by the esteemed firm of CohnReznick, well-known, well-respected throughout the area. And their findings showed that they cannot find evidence showing that solar being developed nearby residential will be detrimental to property values. You have that report. It's been filed and is on record. I will note that Mr. Argento did reference a couple of reports, and I thought it was interesting that on one of them it said, specific to the Midwest, an Illinois impact study prepared by McGarr and Lyons, who happen to be employees of CohnReznick, stated that they found no consistent negative impact on home prices or other influential market indicators attributed to adjacent solar farms. So even in the reports that he was citing as being showing negative effect, actually their own report showed it does. It does not have a negative effect. Regarding the city of Elgin, we did meet with the city of Elgin, as Mr. Milet had mentioned. And they're saying that we would be impeding their growth. This is a temporary use, albeit it's a long-term use, so 35 years potentially, but it will not impede their future growth because there are other avenues for them to annex around if they wanted to. There is already a water main, a City of Elgin water main on the property. And we've made provisions for future sewer, sanitary sewer, should they want to or need to get through to it. There was a lift station kind of down at the south and west that could potentially be hooked into in the future. But should other properties around here want to annex, they certainly have that opportunity. Want to touch on the next one, which is that no additional utilities will be necessary to service the property. There was talk about drain tile. We've already agreed that we will be either repairing or replacing the existing drain tile on the property. However, there was a plan prepared by Water Resources in 2009 that was looking to solve some of the drainage problems that were noted by some of the opposition there at Elmora Heights. Sunvest will commit as a condition of approval to install 1,650 feet of 12-inch drain tile along our east line. I did correspond with Ann Wilford, and she had mentioned that at the time that this plan was prepared by Jody Wolnick, that the implementation of this 12-inch water main would have a significant improvements to the conditions of the residential subdivision. What will happen is that drain tile will run along on our property, collect the water, take it south. There's a wetland off property that the drain tile would end into, and then it would actually travel into the south branch of Tyler Creek, or Sandy Creek, as it might be known. And that's the creek that's running off. So we can make a significant improvement to some of the stormwater issues that are out there already by the implementation of this large 12-inch drain tile. I'll move right along. And then the ingress and egress, that's onto Highland Avenue. Interestingly enough, Highland Avenue is under the jurisdiction of the City of Elgin. We've been in correspondence with them. There was reference made to why there was a revised plan. It was so that actually we could move the entrance, and in doing so, we felt there would be opportunity to move the where the inverters are located. We did provide evidence to you in a sound study that we will not exceed the Illinois Pollution Control Board standards. So that's also in your petition, in your file. Again, we believe that this petition meets and or exceeds all of the requirements in your ordinance for solar development. And it will have a regional effect in that, one, we can solve the stormwater issues, we think, or help alleviate them. It'll provide an opportunity for people to participate in solar who don't want to put solar on their homes or on their property. And there will be a significant increase in taxes. Currently, the parcels in question pay about $1,800 in taxes. Those will go up to $32,000 a year with little to no impact to any of the taxing bodies. And in fact, most of that will go to the schools. Do you have any questions of me?
Okay. Mr. Linder?
I want to ask a kind of a generic question. We get, one or two of these proposals almost every month. Why do you guys pick places that are going to be so controversial? There is so much farmland out there that is nothing but farmland. Does it have to do with how you connect to the grid, or why
Yes.
are you picking these places that are next to schools and next to houses?
Yeah, that's a great question, and you're right. Where you're going was correct. You try to find where there's load and when there's available capacity, not only on the distribution system, but at the nearest substation. As you go further west out into hinterland, it becomes farther and farther and harder to find them. This happened to be a location that actually has a very good interconnection. We do have an interconnection agreement with ComEd on this property already. Next, you find an interested landowner who's willing to lease land. This is a voluntary program. We can't make anyone do it. And so in this case, Mr. Burnage and his family were interested in developing solar here. And I'll let him speak to that, but I believe some of that for them is also to be a legacy. They don't want to sell the property off for residential development. They want to maintain an ownership of it. This is an opportunity for them to do that and still maintain the property that they have.
Anybody else? Mr. Iqbal, you had a question earlier. Do you want to ask the?
I'll ask you the same question that I asked the city manager, the city community development officer. If this is the best property or the best use of this property is the single family home, why would petitioner opt for solar panels, which are not that good?
May I ask Mr. Burnage to answer that question for you?
May?
Would you please? I think it'd be more appropriate for the owner to say why.
What was the question?
Well, the question is, the city has come forward and said, this is the property that is most suitable for single-family home. And your property value will go up a lot if you sell it based on the single-family residence zoning. But you have opted not to go that way and are going for solar, which do not produce that much money as compared to the single-family homes. So what's the reason that you are going this second route and not the first route?
At the time that I examined the lift station between Route 20 and Highland Avenue, I went to the city engineer and I wrote the homeowners association and I called the homeowners association and they didn't respond to me. In other words, there is a 10-acre or a 10-foot easement for the sewer, but the city requires a 30-foot easement for the sewer. And the homeowners association denied that access to the property. And so I turned to Sunvest to develop a solar farm. And the solar farm is the best aspect. I've spent 49 or 59 years living next to the property, and there is no way to get the sewer to my property.
So what did the city say about it when they knew that you don't have access to the sewer line?
Well, I provided access to the northern property across Highland Avenue, and my father's company owned 2,225 acres in the city of Elgin, and they have already been developed. And the city took a picture of Mark Mylott took a picture of the planned area that I proposed, but he didn't say anything about the access.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from the committee?
Mr. Chair Williams,
Yes, Mr. Williams.
I have a question for Mr. Burnage. Mr. Burnage, have you ever been approached by a developer of single-family homes to purchase your property?
In 1995, I was approached by Kimball Hill, and they needed access from the solar, from the lift station as well. And they denied they didn't follow through. And that's the last offer I've made, or I have been made for the access to the land.
So nothing in the past 30 years, essentially.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone on the committee? Okay. Thank you, Mr. French.
Thank you.
And let's call the roll, please.
Arroyo,
No.
Doherty.
Sorry, no,
I'm sorry, was that yes or no?
that was no.
Thank you. Garcia. Garcia, no. Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Linder,
Based on LaSalle factors A, B, and C, I vote no.
Tepe,
Based on LaSalle factor B, I vote no.
Leonard,
Based on the LaSalle factors B, I vote no also.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Roth.
Based on factor B of the LaSalle factor, I vote no.
Fails with 7 noes, 2 yeses.
Thank you, everyone.
Doherty.
Mr. Doherty,
Yeah, I forgot to state my LaSalle factor is B also.
can you get closer to your mic, sir? Please.
I failed to state that my LaSalle factor is B also.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty. Okay. Next is resolution amending chapter 6 of the Kane County Code Building and Building Regulations, Article 4 fees.
Good morning. This has been a discussion item for multiple meetings. This is actually the resolution which amends the Kane County Code. I should note that it should be listed as a ordinance as opposed to a resolution.
Okay.
So if that's moved with that change, we'll clear that up before executive committee. But this basically amends chapter 6 of the Kane County Code, specifically the area for buildings and fees. This is reflective of the all the latest available published CPI indexes used by the state of Illinois for PTEL, and rounding the fees so that they make some sense. I've discussed this again since the last meeting with Chairman Williams in the State's Attorney's Office, and it's before you this morning if there's any questions.
Okay, can we get a motion and a second, please?
Williams moves.
Linder, second is who?
Iqbal,
Williams.
second.
Okay, Mr. Iqbal, thank you. Okay, any questions?
Yeah,
Yes,
the
Mr.
question,
Iqbal.
yeah, is this the write-up that it is referring to? The one
No, that's later on the agenda.
on the agenda,
Okay,
okay.
it's on page, the fees are on 148 and 147, 146. Starts at 145.
Oh,
So it crosses off what it was or is currently and what it's recommended. Isn't that correct, Mr.?
That's correct. And that's based on the table that was presented at the last County
Right.
Development Committee
Okay.
meeting, but this is now in resolution form and changes the actual
Okay.
code language in the county
And
code.
when was the last time the fees were increased?
2019.
2019. Okay,
This would be
Mr. Linder?
effective January 1st of
Thank you.
2026.
Do you have a rough estimate of the effect this will have on annual revenue?
Oh, that's a little bit hard to predict, but we're anticipating on an annual basis somewhere between 50 and 80,000.
I'm sorry, repeat that number, 58,000?
50 to 80,000.
Oh, 50 to 80,000 a year? Okay, thank you. So it's not a cash cow? That the cow would be in agriculture, right, Mr.?
Correct. And it's a little bit hard to predict with, what happens in the economy,
Because
what kind of
supply
permits we
demand,
get
yeah.
in. But it's a reasonable approach to having the fees that, or the expense that the county spends for processing people's building
Right.
permits.
Okay, and it's been 6
Mr.
years.
Chair.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Williams.
I would just point out again that what's nice about this approach is the people that are using the services are bearing the cost increase. It's not the typical taxpayer.
Right. Thank you for that comment, and I would agree with you on that. Any other questions, discussion? Okay. Let's call the roll, please.
Arroyo,
I should know how to work this thing by now. Aurora, yes.
Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes. Passes. Thank you. Okay, next, number 8, Property Code Enforcement Division.
Good afternoon, John Mall, King County Property Code Enforcement Officer. We remain busy this month, as we usually are in the summertime. We prepared 2 reports for you, the one that you see on the screen, which we're calling the statistical report, and then we prepared for you a detailed report that we also emailed to you, and everybody should have received that. Last month, new cases were slightly down from 2003 and 2004, but our overall caseload was significantly increased to 71 cases we worked on for the entire month. We had 32 new cases, closed 30 cases, and we took 4 to adjudication, which is a little bit more than a normal month. Additionally, this month, we were presented with a potential new ordinance from Mr. Gripe. I don't see it on the screen. We were presented with looking into a new ordinance for short-term rentals, Airbnbs, and things of that nature. I prepared a letter briefly introducing that and emailed that to all the development committee members, as well as an Excel document. There's a letter, as well as an Excel document. I left that open. Those are some ideas that we came up with after looking at 3 counties that have this in place. We developed these as common variables for the ordinance. And in red, I wrote in our collective thoughts from the meeting that we had that I discussed in that initial letter. If you'd like to add your thoughts to this over the next month, I believe it's going to be on next month's agenda, and then it'll be further discussed. But if you'd like to add any thoughts in there, that'd be very helpful to bring those to the meeting next month.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from the committee?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Iqbal?
sir. Yeah, it's a good suggestion. I think we should follow through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair Williams.
Yes, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, I think the intent would be that we spend a greater amount of time on this at our next meeting.
Okay, I would agree. So they're looking for input. So any committee member, please get back to development or enforcement with any recommendations. And then we'll discuss them at the next meeting is the plan, correct?
Okay, yep, that sounds right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. No vote on that, so we can go forward. Okay, next is planning and special projects.
Good morning. You have in your packet the report of our Planning and Special Projects Division. Most of these are reported to other committees. I am going to, at the bottom of the second page, talking about our newer programs. As you all know, this is the final month of our Emergency Rental Assistance Program from the U.S. Treasury in terms of obligating the funds. So we are working furiously to obligate as many of the dollars as we can with our different projects and subrecipients. We appreciate the resolutions that have been passed to authorize us to make those adjustments yet this month. One of the programs that we're doing in-house is our emergency rental assistance program, paying for rents and arrears. To do that, I have been applying a number of other staff, including Brittany Garcia with John Mall's team, using her Hispanic dual language skills to help people applying, as well as Jennifer Marsh, one of our other admins. We did enter into a contract, short-term contract earlier this year with MGT, who is a provider for some of the other professional staff we've utilized for workforce development. And Catherine Romanowski has worked out tremendously and has skills even beyond what we originally hired her for. So we really have a need, even though the period of obligation ends at the end of the month, we have another 3 months in order to do our reporting and close out. And so I entered into a longer term contract to continue her services using the emergency purchase affidavit under the county code. Part of that process involves having the county board ratify that purchase, so that is on the agenda. The resolution, for some reason, did not get in the packet. The executive summary and all the attachments did. So I just handed that out. That's actually up on the screen. So this will show up with your passing it through on the executive committee and the full county board.
All right. So can I get a motion in a second, or can we?
Sonia will move.
Okay, Garcia, and second is Mr. Iqbal.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I
And
appreciate.
Linda was the one that seconded it. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Iqbal.
appreciate it, but this resolution was look like it's done in a hurry or something. It does not read very well. So before we
Oh,
move it forward, I think we need to.
Well, can it be, can it be corrected for executive, or does it?
Yes, it can be corrected for executive, the entire packet, the draft resolution and the affidavit and supporting documents are also currently being reviewed by the state's attorney's office. So they may have other corrections before it's added to executive committee as well.
So we can move it forward with the expectation that it'll be corrected for executive.
Correct, yes. And this draft is
Committee
generally
passes that
based on similar resolutions that have gone through this year for the same purpose.
Is everyone on the committee okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with, Aurora's okay with it.
Mr. Aurorans?
Yes.
I'm
Again?
okay with it.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Let's call the roll to move this forward.
Arroyo,
Aurora, yes.
Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes. Okay. And then next is,
Mr. Chairman?
yes.
I'm sorry, Natalie Zine is actually correcting me. She believes it is in the packet. So maybe Blair, to you,
page?
the one that you just passed through, that it is in the packet.
Yeah, I see it in the packet.
What page?
161.
161?
Okay. That could be. So my apologies for the fire drill. The resolution actually was in the packet. Thank you for
Okay.
passing it through.
So that's the one that's currently up on the screen you're talking? Or is that
Correct.
for
And it
this?
is in your packet.
Okay, thank
Is
you.
the text different than what we just passed?
No, that was the same.
Okay. Same thing,
Yes.
Mr. Williams. Okay. All right, next, subdivision.
Good afternoon. Deanna Orlick with Water Resources. I have before you today one variation to a subdivision plat. This is over in the St. Charles Township. It's within the single family residence area that's bound by Babson Lane along Dean Street, if you're familiar with the area there.
Whose district is this in?
Mr. Gripe.
Okay, thank you.
And this particular house on the corner right here would like to build a detached garage onto their residence. The issue that he has in front of him is that the subdivision plat has a 60-foot building setback. So if we go back to the current residence, you can see that the 60-foot setback would run almost right along here. So he's very restricted on the area in which he can construct this garage. In the rear yard, you can also see where the septic field is. So that further restricts where this garage could be placed. So the owner is seeking to get a reduction in the building setback to 35 feet along the side of Dean Street. The red little rectangles shows where he intends on constructing the detached garage.
Question, will he tie into the existing driveway?
Yes.
So he won't
yes.
be accessing onto Dean?
Correct, correct. The front of
Okay.
the garage faces the driveway as it sits right here, so there'll be just a little addition onto his driveway in order to get out to Babson Lane.
Thank you.
As I recall driving, if I drive down Dean Street.
Mr. Linder, can you get closer to the mic, please? Thank you.
Motorist driving down Dean Street is not going to see this, are they? Isn't it pretty well shady with bushes and stuff?
It's very heavily treed.
Yeah,
I
thought so.
don't think you're gonna see it. In
Across the
fact,
street from my district.
yeah, and
I
in
know it.
fact, if you have driven down Dean Street in the last month, the owner unfortunately wasn't aware that he needed a building permit as well as a variance to construct his garage.
Oh.
So the forms are in place. You can see the forms if you're out on the site, but you can't see that from
Can
the
see it
street.
Dean. No, okay, so.
All right.
Moving on, the adjustment does not increase the overall density of the subdivision, nor does it decrease the open space. There's no impact to the public health. All the jurisdictions and neighborhoods within 250 feet were notified. I heard no negative comments. This adjustment has been completed in compliance with section 19.6 of the subdivision code.
Okay. Any questions from anyone on the committee? Okay. Jody, you had a letter here. Any,
It's just a standard letter for adjustments.
okay, so no objection though, right? Okay. Okay, let's call the roll, please.
Arroyo. Oh, I'm sorry, we
Yes.
don't have a motion. in a
Yeah,
second.
let's do a motion in a second, please.
I'll second.
Okay. Who was first?
Then I'll be.
All right, Garcia first and then second,
I'll second.
Linder. I was looking right.
It's fine.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Arroyo,
Oh, shit. Arroyo, yes.
Doherty. Mr. Doherty,
Yeah, sorry, glitch. Yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes. Passes.
Thank you.
Okay, next is environmental resources.
Yes, we have the ordinance before you. These are the fees that were presented at last month's meeting to update the stormwater fees that haven't been updated since 2019. The only revision was the suggestion to have these fees applicable at the same time as the development building fees. So we did adjust that from December 1st of 2025 to January 1st of 2026. And I would ask for approval.
Okay, any questions from the committee?
Leonard will move.
Okay, oh yeah. we
Williams
have a motion, a
seconds.
second, thank you. And Williams second. Okay, and then we can call the roll, please.
Arroyo,
Arroyo, yes.
Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Tepe,
Happy, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes. I did have one question for you. What is the expected increase in fees revenue?
About $5,000 a year, very small, but we're being conservative. It might be more than that, so.
Okay, but it'll cover costs. That's the whole purpose.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, next is new business, commercial solar energy facility, landscape screening discussion. Say that fast 10 times.
Mr. Chair, Williams,
Yes, Mr. Williams.
I know Natalie's put a lot of time to get this before us, but I thought maybe we should, I mean, we were through 2 hours. Maybe we should
Yeah.
just continue this to the next meeting.
I'm okay with that. Natalie, you okay with that?
I'm here to serve.
Plus, I believe
whatever you
Mr.
guys
Van
need.
Kirkhoff had to leave as well, so.
Yeah, so, and Mr. Teppe's getting ready to leave and so is Mr. Let. So we're about ready to lose quorum. All right,
So
so we'll
let's
move it to next month.
Let's keep,
Okay.
yeah, we'll keep it on the
All right.
agenda. Mhm.
Let's very quickly do, can I get a motion to put reports on file? Unanimously, please.
Yes, consent.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Aurora. No need for executive session, and can I get a quick motion to adjourn?
Linder moves adjourned.
All right, Linder,
second.
second.
Iqbal second.
Okay, thank you.